There's no beat or rhythm to this. I'm probably pissing someone off right now.
Yeah, I can guarantee you that. The Wright Brothers.
Yo, what up? It's your boy Tommy D and SA Sam back with another episode of The Wright Brothers.
Hey guys, welcome back.
How you doing, Sam?
Dude, I'm doing pretty well. How are you?
I feel shorter for some reason. How about you?
I feel a little taller, actually.
Yeah, I think maybe it's just like a full moon, blood moon, however the hell that works.
Sure, as is the case during the day.
Oh yeah, no, it's a beautiful day outside. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a blood moon. So what have you been up to this week, man?
So I had a very interesting encounter today.
Really?
I was at a store buying clothes, which I'll remain unnamed, and there was a lady yelling out at the clerk or shop girl with the cashier, whatever you would call that kind of person.
Cashier?
The cashier, yes. And I heard she was like yelling about her coupon was expired and like just a bunch of bullshit that she was just being a bitch about, basically. Mm-hmm. But I was wearing my work shirt, and I did not want to like play devil's advocate? Basically call this woman a bitch while wearing my work shirt.
Yeah.
So what I do, like a goddamn superhero, I run to the changing room, grab a random shirt off a shelf.
Oh my god, are you serious?
I left my work shirt in the changing room, and I then proceeded to... I didn't call her a bitch, but I put her in her place. I told her to calm down and that the cashier was trying her best, and that you're keeping everyone here longer than they need to be. And
wow,
yeah,
huh?
I'm pretty proud of it. Proud of it. Yeah,
damn, dude. How did she respond to that?
She called me a disrespectful young man, saying chivalry was dead, all that horse shit. Yeah. But you can't complain about that when you yourself are causing the problem.
Yeah, it is hard to talk about
being disrespectful
in that position.
So yeah, basically, moral of the story is I'm a goddamn superhero.
Yeah, good for you, man. That's good.
All right. Anyway, what heroic endeavors have you done? Come on, Sam. Tell them. Tell them.
Let's see. What have I been doing this week? Well, we hung out with our work friends.
That we did.
And played more Dark Heresy, which I don't know if we've talked about before.
It's basically just science fiction Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. It's a lot of fun. So that was a success. And then this weekend, what did I do this weekend? I just played video games with friends, man. I played some Minecraft with Michael, and then I also played some Terraria.
Terraria sucks.
You don't like...
I don't like
to look the wrong way.
I do not like Terraria very much.
Really? I think it's awesome. It's definitely a different vibe. It's less on like the building aspect. It's more on just like the get badass weapons.
Survival.
Kill all these cool enemies. I really love that about it.
Yeah, no, that's what I enjoy Minecraft for, is the creativity behind it.
Yeah, it's definitely, if you're more into the building aspect, you would not like Terraria as much. And we even have been playing a modded version that has like a ton of new bosses and stuff. So it's been a lot of fun. Apart from that, I finished up another beat making video. I'm trying to do weekly videos now. I'm trying to figure out a day to upload it. I'm thinking like Friday night, just because that would be the best time for people that they get home from work and now they have a new video to watch.
Nice.
So we'll see. I'm still.
I'm trying my damnedest not to look at you.
Dude, it's weird, isn't it? Yeah, that's pretty much the weekend though.
Nice.
Yeah. Got up and worked out again yesterday. Still trying to do that. It's tough. It sucks. I genuinely hate getting up, and even if I've like planned to go work out, it's easier if I've planned to go work out. If I wake up and I'm like, oh, I've got time today, I won't go. I have to plan at least the night before and say, like, I'm getting up at this time and I'm going to be at the gym at this time. And if I'm not, I feel really bad about myself. So I go.
Hey, you can just be like the rest of us and feel bad about yourself all the time. No?
That's true. Gosh.
Yeah, anything else?
Anything else?
PlayStation. Oh, I'm gonna do a little plug for Sony.
Oh, yeah.
Because this is honestly, they're great deals. PlayStation Store is having a sale right now, and I got Titanfall 2 and Battlefield 1 for $8. That's a good goddamn deal.
That is. That
Yeah.
really is.
And I also picked up Dark Souls 2, Scholar of the First Sin for $8 as well. So yeah.
Nice. I guess that's it. All right. Well,
That's
I guess
it?
we'll get into the. Oh, I talked to my sister on the phone the other day. She's still in New Zealand.
Nice.
But I had
nice.
like a good couple hour conversation, or yeah, like an hour and a half conversation with her, and that
Cool.
was nice. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah. We need to have her on the podcast.
We do.
Yeah.
Yes, I need to talk to her about that again. She was in Japan last week, so I think she just got back. So she'll once she like recuperates, probably
Nice.
we can do that. Maybe next week.
Maybe.
It's also like 13 or 14 hours ahead, so it would be. Oh, damn. She would have to, if we recorded at like 9 in the morning, it'd be like 11 at night for her.
Damn.
The next day.
Well, I mean, we could always do like
No, that night.
we could always record later, and she can record early if that's what we want to do.
That's true.
Yeah,
That's also true. Yeah, we'll figure out. We'll have to have her on sometime.
definitely. And also, we need to finish the My Worm and Me saga.
Wait, there's more?
Yeah, there was the
We
fourth.
haven't finished it.
There's the
have we?
fourth. There's the fourth book, man. Yeah.
Whoa.
Well, I've been trying to get Josh on so we could do it all together.
You're right. How did I forget all about that?
The most legendary book series of all time.
Oh my gosh, dude. Yeah, we got to do that for sure.
Hell yeah. All right.
Well, shall we write?
Yes, we shall write.
Oh, one other thing. This is what I was thinking of. So, last night I worked with the same coworker that I worked with last week when I talked about the whole like zombie apocalypse scenario, where we just like theorized what would go on. It was kind of like essentially like I was playing a game and he was giving me like, I'd say like, well, I do this, and he'd say, well, then this happens. So it was kind of like Dungeons and Dragons almost. So I worked with him again last night, and he came up with a new scenario for me. And that was, I'm a writer that lives in a house in the woods because I was having no luck selling books. So I like moved out to be excluded and write and stuff. And a man comes up to the door. And so he'd said, now you live like miles away from any neighbors. This guy knocks on the door, really unsettling vibe. Like it's kind of creepy. He's kind of, he seems a little off. And he says, hi, I'm your new neighbor. And you immediately think, well, this is weird. No one lives near me. So you start to get a little worried. And then you like you offer him like a glass of water. And when you leave to get it, you come back and he's not at the door anymore.
Sounds like this guy's just an asshole.
And so that was the premise. And he's like, you don't know if he's inside. He might be outside. Like, you don't see any vehicles. But like, you get this weird vibe. Then you find out he's made it inside your house. He's inside your house. So then we just went on this whole scenario of like, okay, well, I try to take a weapon, and then I try to go kill him or whatever, like call the police, and then he just gave me this whole long scenario, and that was actually a lot of fun, and I got really into it because I was like imagining all of this happening in my mind. And he was like describing the guy to me really well, so it was really unsettling. And so I was like getting like actually like kind of freaked out over it. Like it was that exciting. And so I'm like, dang, I should write this into like a Wright Brothers episode or something. So if the scenario presents itself, I'll write that in because there's a really good twist ending that he added that like really was like, I was impressed. Kid did good work.
All right, you ready?
Let's do it.
To writing prompts we go.
Writing prompts. Okay, I can swap our heads back now. Dude, it is...
Oh, whoa, jeez.
Ow!
Oh,
Oh.
What the hell happened, dude?
I don't know.
My
That was
neck-
weird.
My neck feels I feel taller now.
I feel shorter.
Oh, dude. If you want to find... This is a kind of a story of my life. You keep finding yourself the wacky sidekick in all your friends' rom-com relationships.
Oh my gosh. That's pretty good.
You buy a puppet from a mysterious antique shop in town. As you learn to control it, you slowly start realizing that some of your actions are not your own.
Ooh.
So basically, you buy a voodoo doll of yourself.
Of yourself?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I kind of like that.
I'll
Hold on.
bookmark
Yeah,
it.
hold on to that one.
You find an old journal at a rummage sale. The last entry reads, "Don't look at mirrors. That's how he finds you."
Just because of what I
Right,
was
like,
thinking-
yeah.
Oh no, that's a good point too. No, I was just thinking just because of like the conversations I had last night. I'm just in a mood to write like scary,
Spooky
so
stuff.
all of that.
I might write something spooky too.
Those both sound like I'm really into both of those. That one actually, man, hold on to that one too. That's good. Dude, there's so many alien invasion prompts now. I wonder if that is related to the Area 51 stuff.
Most definitely.
Like probably like in place of the usual demonic possession ones is now alien invasion ones. This is it's so fascinating just like the psychology of the people that
Go to writing prompts.
go and post on writing prompts. Yeah,
All right, do you want to pick one of the ones we got?
let's do that.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little partial to the mirror one.
Honestly, that was kind of what I was thinking as well.
Mirror. All
Let's do
right.
the mirror one. Okay,
All right. You ready to write?
let's do it.
3, 2, 1.
Dude, this was
Welcome back.
this was a good one.
Yeah, no,
I was
I'm
really
actually
happy with this
I am
one.
honestly proud of this one.
Nice.
Yeah, dude. Do you want to go first? You
I think I should because I think you went first the last
Yeah,
couple
okay.
times. So
sounds good.
okay, here we go. I kicked the broken chair out of the way and continued onward.
Yeah, fuck your broken chair.
Hey Mark, I hear a muffled voice of my friend say, "There's a secret room over here." I changed directions and navigated the way through the maze of broken glass and splintered wood as I made my way towards Jason. It had been a while since the two of us had gone urban exploring. But once one of my coworkers tipped me off to this abandoned house in the middle of the woods, I knew we had to go check it out. As I walked up to Mark, I saw him pointing. There was what appeared to be, at first glance, just a concrete wall. We were in the basement after all, so this didn't seem out of place. What did seem out of place, though, was the little indentations that Jason was pointing at. He slid his finger into one and hooked it onto a small metal ring that lay flush with the concrete wall. There was another small ring near to the top of the door. I grabbed a hold of the other one and we both pulled with all our might. The wall began to budge and slide forward on a hidden hinge. After creating a big enough opening, we both took out our phones and shone our flashlights through the new doorway. Inside the room was completely empty. In fact, it was oddly neat. While the rest of the house looked like it had been trashed on multiple occasions, this room must have never been discovered. Well, what the hell? I heard Jason say. He stepped in and walked around the room. The only thing in the room besides a thin layer of dust was a pedestal, an empty pedestal. On it, I noticed there was a rectangle where no dust sat. Somebody had recently taken whatever was on that pedestal. We exited the room and left to explore the ground floor of the house. As I walked through what must have been the kitchen, I saw a shattered mirror above the sink. The metal in the sink was completely scratched up, too. Broken dishes and mugs lay everywhere. I walked down the hall and found an old bathroom. The mirror here was shattered, too, along with the sink. The shower rod lay askew in the tub, with no curtain remaining. We wandered upstairs and found a long hallway. The door at the very end was locked. We try not to destroy anything in the buildings we come across. It's part of our code. So if a door is locked, it stays locked. We decided to check the other rooms instead. I found another bathroom, in a very similar condition to the downstairs one. Across the hall were 2 bedrooms. The mattresses were gone, must have been raided by someone. All the drawers from the dressers were missing too. The mirrors in both the rooms were shattered as well. A couple lamps remained, but the bulbs were gone. After exploring a little bit more, we decided we'd seen everything that was worth seeing. As we drove down the driveway onto the road, I looked at the mailbox. 2121. Warber. Must have been the last name of whoever lived there. Jason grunted in reply. The following week, Jason and I hit up a rummage sale. We liked finding old antiques and theorizing about their histories, who owned them, when, and most importantly, why. It was a fun little game to play. Sometimes, if something particularly caught our attention, we would even buy it as a keepsake. Today, as we were browsing around, I noticed an old book. It was leather-bound, so it was no ordinary book. Sure enough, it was a journal. As I skimmed through the pages, I started piecing together the story of the owner. January 21st, 1902. Holy shit, I thought to myself, this was written over 100 years ago. Terrible snowstorm today. Mostly stay inside unless I have to go out. I flipped forward a couple pages. January 24th, 1902. Went on a short walk through the snow to the creek. Found a pendant frozen in the ice. Chipped it out, brought it back, thawing it now. Flip forward a couple more pages. January 31st, 1902. Still feeling very uneasy. Ever since I found that pendant, I haven't been sleeping well. I might just be getting sick. Flip forward a couple more pages. I noticed the handwriting got sloppier here. February 3rd, 1902. I keep hearing things and seeing things. Dark shadows plague my mind. I feel like something bad is going to happen soon. I started to get a little uneasy, but continued flipping the pages. February 5th, 1902. I'm not going to make it. I know that now. I've done all I can do to protect whoever stumbles across this place. I've sealed the pendant away. I don't know if it can be destroyed, but at least it's sealed. Whatever you do, don't look at the mirrors. That's how he finds you. The writing was barely legible. I turned the page, but there was nothing left. The only other thing I saw was the signature at the very bottom of the last page. Warber. I stood there in silence for a moment before calling over Jason. I filled him in on what I found. We both stared at each other. This book was about the size of the misting dust spot in the pedestal in the abandoned house. I need to know for sure, I said. For some reason, I just need to know if this book was from that house. We set up another expedition for the following night. That night, I didn't sleep well. I kept having nightmares about the stories I read in the journal. Eventually, the morning light began to rise. Thank goodness for that. That evening, we left for the house once again. As Jason drove, I held on tightly to the journal. There was the mailbox again, 2121, Warber. That was definitely the same name that was in the journal. We moved quickly once we were inside. Neither of us wanted to stay any longer than we had to. We opened the secret door once again and walked to the pedestal. I placed the journal down quickly. It fit like a glove. We looked there and stared at each other, wide-eyed. We need to get into that locked room upstairs, I said. My mind was racing. I didn't know why I had to see what was in that room. I just had to. The mystery was overwhelming. I just needed to know. Jason must have felt the same way because he didn't even say a word. Just began heading back upstairs. We walked through all the broken glass as we made our way back to the entrance of the basement. We climbed the stairs to the main floor and walked through the kitchen as we made our way upstairs to the upstairs of the house. We walked down the long hallway, past the bathroom and the 2 bedrooms before we arrived at the locked door. I began kicking the door down. With every kick, the sound reverberated through the decrepit old house. Dust burst from the door with every kick. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we were in. The door flung open, revealing a long, narrow room, like an extension of the hallway. At the very end of the hallway sat a small table with a pendant on it. Behind that was a full-length mirror. Jason and I looked down at the pendant, then up at the mirror. Behind us stood a huge hulking shadow, nearly reaching the high ceiling of the hallway. We both quickly turned around, but saw nothing. Then it was like a sheet was pulled over our eyes, and everything went dark. And then I only had a minute left to write, so that's where it ends.
Dang.
Yeah.
That is a very me ending, though.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. That's
everything
what I was
went
thinking.
Dark. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I like that you left most of like the background vague.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking. So I was telling Thomas as we were writing when I first started writing, I didn't realize that it said you find an old journal at a rummage sale. I just read you found an old journal. So I was making this abandoned house where they'd find the journal on the pedestal, and then it would get crazy from there. And then I got to that point, and I was like, damn it, I got to figure this out. So
he gets a pass because, because he did.
So I ended up I didn't rewrite anything.
I'm gonna hit him later. Don't worry.
I restructured so that I thought it was kind of cool that they like find the journal and then relate it to the house. Yeah. I also tried to throw in a couple little things. At the very beginning, I navigated my way through the maze of broken glass.
Oh, they broke the mirrors.
The guy said, "I've done everything I can to protect people that come into this place."
That's really
all
good.
The mirrors are shattered except for that one in the sealed away room.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, so I thought that was cool, and I tried to like reiterate that a couple times. But yeah, dude, I was really happy with this. Like, I felt like this is like it's got like 3 sections. Like they're there, and then the section at the rummage shop, and then the section again where they come back. Like I felt like I had a good like flow and time management sort of thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was really happy with this one, man. This was a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, what was your word count? Or
oh yeah.
Wait, what's it? Control C?
Control Shift C or Control C?
Okay. Because mine is 1,509 words.
1,509. Mine was 1,325. Whoa.
Damn.
This is like considerably more for both of us.
Yeah.
All right, man.
But dude, mine is...
I want to hear yours. I'm excited.
Because I kind of spooked myself when I was writing it.
Dude.
Okay. The cold breeze of fall swept across my face as I looked at the house. The sky was gray as if it was about to rain. I then looked back down at the flyer. This was the right address. It was an unsuspecting house made of brown bricks. Aside from the weeds being completely overgrown, it wasn't as shady as I had thought. I read the flyer again. Exotic knickknacks and other talismans. I had to say, I was very interested. I walked up to the house, the leaves of autumn being crushed beneath my feet. Okay.
Gotcha.
As I came to the door. I rang the doorbell, but it didn't ring. I then proceeded to knock on the door. I heard the pitter-patter of small feet walk to the doorway. It opened slightly, held back by a chain lock. Peering through the opening was the pale face of a young boy. "Hey there, are your parents home?" The child didn't respond. He only looked at me. "I'm here about the rummage sale," I said, gesturing down to the flyer. The boy then quickly slammed the door shut. Excuse me?" I said as I knocked on the door again. I then heard the click of the chain being unlocked, and the door slowly creaked open, with the child nowhere to be seen. I stepped inside. The smell of heavy must filled my nostrils. The only light was that of a few candles and of the ever-dim light of fall peering through the blinds. I took a few more steps inside and saw an array of trinkets laid out across the table. I wasn't gonna lie, this was pretty damn creepy. Most of them were idols, many humanoid, but with the body parts of other animals. All had eerily happy faces. None of it looked particularly pleasant. "Hello? Is anyone here?" I shouted throughout the house. I looked around and jumped when I saw someone standing across the room. Oh wait, no. It was just my reflection. Damn, scared of my own reflection. I should probably get out of here. My eyes then caught sight of a simple black journal at the center of the table. It stood out from the array of creepy statues, so I decided to take a look at it. It was odd. It felt cold. Like really cold. Almost icy to the touch. I opened the first page. All the words that were written had been scribbled out. I turned to the next page. It was the same. Multiple lines of writings, all scratched out. I flipped through, page after page, all the same. I then saw on the last page of a book, there was one line not crossed out. All it said was, "Don't look in the mirror. That's how he finds you." The word he was capitalized and underlined in red. Who was he? And why would he be looking into a mirror? Why would looking into a mirror help him find me? I closed the book and set it down. It was to my shock that all the idols were facing me, and they had changed. They were now covering their eyes. I heard the pitter-patter of footsteps behind me. I swerved around and saw the child, peering out from behind the wall. "Okay, what kind of sick game is this?" I shouted. He looked at me, his eyes filled with fear. He then proceeded to cover his eyes. I felt my back get cold. I wanted to turn around, but I remembered my reflection from earlier. The mirror was right behind me. The ominous words of the journal rang throughout my brain. Despite the fact that I was sure this was some kind of twisted game, I decided I had my fill of this damn house. I walked past the child and walked out the door. I heard the boy start to cry as I slammed the door behind me. And then I was there, in front of the house, standing in the pouring rain. I arrived back home to my apartment that night. I was pissed that the whole thing was just some bad haunted house that you see popping up all over the place this time of year. I looked out my window at the barren trees, the moonlight shining through their twisted branches. I stood there and thought to myself, why would a mirror help him find me? Who is him even? The Easter Bunny? Santa Claus? As much as I want to play it off as a bad joke, the whole scenario of the evening was still fresh in my mind. The journal, the idols, the child, they were all still fresh. I laid down on my bed and figured some sleep would help me forget about the events of the day. I pulled the covers over my body and flicked off the lights. I awoke to the sound of a thud. I shot up and looked around. A picture of my parents had fallen off a shelf. I stood up and went to pick it up. As I walked towards the picture, I felt the presence of a person walk past me. It was only for an instant, but I felt the body heat and the breeze of someone walking past. I stepped back and looked around. No one was there. But what was that? I know I sensed someone else in here. But where were they? I flicked the lights on. I was alone. I then heard a knock on the door. "Who's there?" I said, no response. "I said, who's there?" I shouted again. This time there were multiple loud slams on the door, and they wouldn't stop. I retreated into my bathroom. I pulled out my cell phone and dialed 911. "Hello, police, there's someone trying to break into my apartment." "Alright, sir, what's your address?" The operator got no response. "Sir, what is your address?" I looked into the mirror, and I saw him. I turned around, and he was there, towering above me, his blood-red eyes staring into my soul. That night, back at the house of the garage sale, a new idol had been added to the table. Yeah.
Damn, that was good.
Thanks, dude.
That was really
honestly,
good.
I creeped myself out a little bit with that one.
Dude, the freaking, like, when you, like, felt someone, like, walk behind you, and you put, like, the sound of the breeze and, like, the body heat.
Yeah.
Like, oh.
Ugh.
That was really good. I like the ending, too, because that kind of, like, there's more to it that mine just ended with just, like, a BS ending that, like,
I do that shit all the
related
time,
to
dude.
True.
Yeah.
That kind of, like, related to, like, an actual theme, though.
But-
that's cool.
Yeah, no, I think the thing that really got me was that the only description you get of him is the fact that he has blood-red eyes.
Yeah.
And the rest is up to your imagination.
Yeah.
I think that just leaving everything up to imagination is the scariest thing you can do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, no, dude.
We did good work today.
This was a great, great writing.
Dude, one of my favorites, I'd say.
I think we say that every episode.
Yeah.
Well, most of the episodes. Yeah, but no, I'm honestly really proud of this one.
Dude, I was in a really spook mood, so this was good. This,
Yeah.
like, really...
Hey, what's that in the
really
closet?
felt good. Oh, don't even say that. Oh my gosh, I hate that. Alright, well... Oh, man. Even though I see your arm, I still don't like that.
No, that was good. That was good.
So freaky, man.
Yeah. All right. As per usual, this has been the Spooky Bros.
Brothers. Wow.
Hey, dude, we're like the same goddamn person.
Wow. Oh, no.
We've come to the realization
Oh, no.
they're aware of their own existence.
Gosh.
All right.
All right. We'll
See you
see
next
guys
time.
later.